Hi, Lisette. How are you? Good afternoon. We're gonna wait until 6:08, like maybe 2 or 3 more minutes, and then we'll start with whoever's in class. Okay, it looks like it's just us, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So prendan sus cámaras, porfa, chicas, so we can all see each other in the class. There you are. Hi, guys. So in your theory class, you saw the reading part, right? Can you tell me a bit what it consists of? How much time do you have for each, well, for each section? How many questions?
I think yesterday we read in group, and after that we have at least 5 minutes, I think, to think about the answer. And it was questions with multiple answers. And so anyone said what she or he thinks,
Mhm.
and that's it.
All right. But in the actual test, do you know how much time you have for each part? How
I
many
don't
questions there
remember
are?
any specific time for the reading part, but summarizing what the teacher said yesterday is that we have about 6 minutes for reading each text, and for answering the questions, it would be better if we can answer in 18 minutes.
Yeah, more or
Something.
less.
Yeah.
For each task, you have, thank you, Camila. For each task, we have, there are two reading tasks, two passages, and each one has about 10-ish questions, or 14, or yeah, they're 14 questions. So in total, you have 40 minutes. That's more or less 20 minutes per passage. So más o menos sí se divide así el tiempo, ¿no? Como unos 6, 7 minutos to finish the lecture, and then the rest of the time to answer. Between 6 to 7 minutes. I usually go for 7 minutes para que any little detail que se te haya ido en la lectura, you give it another look at. But you can always go back to the text. So, all right, so we're gonna do the practice now. Also, all right. All right, so the way we're going to do this is I'm going to copy the full text and para que you can read it on your own on your computer or whatever device you're on. I'm going to share you, les voy a compartir el link to a Google document with this text. Mhm. All right, I'm gonna send you guys the reading in the chat. Here's the link to the Google documents. Before we read, what's the title of this text? All right, let's go arriba. Camila, can you read the title of the text?
Consumer purchasing decisions.
What do you think it's going to be about before we read anything?
Purchasing, like, yeah, maybe a bit of studies about consumer behaviors and the decisions they make, like explanations for the decision they make when they are going to purchase something.
Yeah, exactly that. So we're gonna take now, I'm gonna give you guys 7 minutes to read it. Entra nomás. Ahí está. Okay, so I'm gonna start a timer and nos vamos a tomar 7 minutos. Okay. Starting. Now, all right. ¿Quién acaba de entrar? Hi, Fabiola. Para ti que recién has entrado, I'm going to copy the link again. We're reading, vamos a hacer reading hoy. So directamente vamos a leer, we're going to read the text for today in 7 minutes. And you can enter the Google document. The link is in the chat. So vayan allí. Hi guys, for those of you who are entering the class, we're going to take 7 minutes to read. We're doing reading today. So pueden entrar al documento de Google. It's in the link is in the chat. So pueden estar viendo. Eso.
Okay, Miss, thank you.
By the way, guys, we have about 3 minutes left. Okay, guys, we have about 1 minute left. All right, guys, is everyone done reading? Is anyone not? Has anyone not finished?
Yes, I didn't finish.
All right, más o menos in what paragraph are you?
Last one.
All right, we'll give another 2 minutes, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Are there any questions about the text? Anything that wasn't clear? Okay, so let's go into the questions. O alguien tiene una duda? Okay. Have you seen what type of questions there are in the reading part, more or less? Okay, so these are the types of questions where they're going to ask you to interpret a word in the text. Now, if you don't always know the meaning of the word on its own, it's always best to look at context. So, Carolina, can you read the first question, the options, and you tell us what you think the answer is, please?
Okay, Miss. The word posited in paragraph 1 is closest in meaning to, I think, decided.
Okay. What makes you think that? Why wouldn't it be, for example, hypothesized?
Because it talks about two types of ways.
Mhm.
And after that, it's try to explain us why that people act like that. So it's trying to say the reasons, maybe.
Mhm.
So decide, I think it's an option.
But who does this action? Who's deciding? Pues, si reemplazamos acá, Carl Jung decided that people make decisions.
No, I was referring to the people decide to take that decisions.
The word posted then, what would it mean? Si estamos hablando de la acción que hace este psicólogo Carl Jung, what does he do about this? Since
Discovered, maybe.
it could be discovered, it could also be hypothesized. Since we're talking about a scientific context, I think these two are the ones that fit most, right? Porque psicólogo y demás. Which one do you think it is, Carolina? Hypothesized or discovered? Entre los dos, ¿cuál?
I think both could be. I don't know, but I will say hypothesized, because I think it's more. I don't know how to say, que va mejor relacionado con su área, ya que él es un psicólogo.
Yeah,
Entonces,
yeah. Usually with more precise sciences, it's much like easier to, ¿no? Encontrar algo cierto, descubrir algo. With social sciences, psychology is siempre medio hipótesis. So yeah, I think hypothesis fits better. And yes, it's correct. So good job, Carolina. All right, so we're going to see the next one. Same thing, a type of replacing the word with another synonym. So, Fabiola, can you read the question and you tell us which one you think it is, please?
Okay, the fourth fulfillment in the paragraph 2 is closest in meaning to maybe satisfaction.
Right. Why do you think it's satisfaction and not, for example, adjustment?
Because say before that in order of human to seek, I think, satisfaction for higher orders or needs and acceptation.
Yeah, we're talking about needs and necessities, and usually a verb related to that. Our needs are mostly, we're going to say satisfied. Que es el que más va con el, with the context. And yes, that's correct. So good job, Fabiola. Next one. Roger, would you like to read and tell us which one you think it is? This is
Okay,
more
miss.
Okay, this is more concepts. Go ahead.
Do I read the paragraph or just the question?
Just a question, and you tell us which one you think is the correct answer.
Okay. Which of the following best describes the relationship between the 5 levels of Maslow hierarchy according to paragraph 2? They are ordered according to the level needs of specific people. They must be completed separately in isolated events. Higher stages cannot be reached until more basic needs are met. Physical needs are set apart from their emotional counterparts.
All right. What do you think it is?
I think it's the third one.
Higher stages cannot be reached until more basic needs are met. Yeah, that's pretty
Right.
much what the paragraph explains. And if you know about the Maslow pyramid, entonces this is básicamente, that's el fundamento del
Yeah.
the Maslow. Have you heard of this before? In, I don't know, maybe alguna clase o así.
Yes, I have in my philosophy class. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, in sociales, you always talk about Maslow. All right, next one. Espera, no he contestado, no he contestado. Here, let's see. Yes, correct. So let's move on to the next one. Thank you, Roger. Now, Camila. Same thing, no? A conceptual question. It asks you for information from the text. So can you read the question and you tell us which one you think it is?
Okay. According to the paragraph 2, which of the following is the highest part of Maslow's hierarchy?
Yep.
Of need. The realization of potential.
Yeah, eso está en el texto igual, so yes. Yes, good. So simple, like straightforward things that you can quote directly in the text. This is another one, the meaning or synonyms. So here, Carolina, can you read the question and you tell us which one you think it is?
Okay. The word inspires in paragraph 2 is closest in meaning to realize.
Realizes. So let's look at
Realizes.
the paragraph. Where one is on that scale may subtly affect what one will concentrate on in a purchasing decision. For instance, someone who aspires to be accepted by the members of a community will subconsciously start buying clothing. So someone who aspires to be. Which one?
Could be needs, maybe too.
All right. Needs is more, yeah, como que realmente quiere estar en este grupo. What could be another word that could mean that though? Do you guys know what strives
Right?
is? I think
Like
it's
make an effort?
exactly.
Or-
So more or less, I think that could be more similar, right? Aspira a, es un esfuerzo por. So maybe we're gonna go for strives. And this one is, yes, that's correct. All right, next one. Okay, this asks you to reinterpret a sentence in the text. So another, like a paraphrase, right? Another way to say the same thing. So Fabiola, could you read the question, then the highlighted sentence, and then which one you think is the correct answer, please?
Okay, which of the following sentences most closely express the important information of the highland sentence in the paragraph 3? Here one might look at cost over all else, since it might be the most important factor to someone who is not quite secure economically.
Which one do you think it is?
I don't know if it's the first one or the last one.
Yeah, they're very similar. They're gonna play around with little details. They had little details in the sentences, a little tiny part that could be incorrect, or a little tiny part that varies with this information. So that's the trick. So let's read the original sentence,
Mhm.
which is here one might look at cost over all else, since it may be the most important factor to someone who is not quite secure emotionally, economically. What dos veces resaltan este factor, ¿no? Over all else, ¿no? Sobre todo lo demás es súper importante. Be the most important factor. So, bueno, sí, los dos dicen, ¿no? They're both really, really similar. Which one do you go for, Fabiola?
Maybe the last one.
Camila, what do you think?
Sorry, it was an accident. But
Oh, don't worry.
I think
All right.
it's also the last one.
Okay, we're gonna go for the last one. Pero a ver, veremos. Yes, good job, guys. So yes, it's the last one. Next one. Here, ¿a quién le tocaba? Roger, right?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so can you read the, espera, ¿dónde está? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna find this part in the text. Here. Okay, so read the question and you tell us which answer you think it is.
Okay, why does the author mention a set of plastic plates? To show it is not as good as porcelain, to give an example of purchase choice, to advocate buying it over more expensive dishware, to illustrate the impulsiveness of some consumers' choices.
Which one do you think it is?
I think it's the last one.
So impulsiveness of some consumers' choices. Let's look at the context. For this person, buying a set of plastic plates is a better decision than investing in fine porcelain dishware. One look at cost over all else. Da, da, da. Do you think it talks more about impulsiveness though? Or what are we talking about in this, in the context beforehand? Justo es la oración que hemos visto, ¿no? About
yeah.
cost, about economic security.
So I think it's the third one, to advocate buying it over more expensive dishware.
All right. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna go with. That one. Here, yes, because it's comparing a different situation, or it's explaining how this choice is made. So it's explaining that a person buys a set of plastic plates because of their economic position, because of this or that. So sometimes when the answers give very, very specific information, como les digo, van a jugar con información así, van a ver partecitas que no son ciertas, or sometimes the whole thing sounds true, but this little tiny detail is not true. So that's the detail. To advocate is really como que realmente está defendiendo, y sí suena, ¿no? Que está defendiendo el sí, compren platitos de plástico because sí, situación económica, ¿verdad? But more generally, it's trying to give an example. If you're not really sure si su intención es así to advocate for it, it's better to assume the more general option, which is it's just giving an example of a purchase choice. And saber reconocer cuando como que asume un juicio, no? When it takes a position of, yeah, I'm advocating, or I don't like this, or if it's just explaining something neutrally. Detalles así igual están in the options. All right, so next one. Camila, can you read the question and you tell us which one you think it is?
The phrase capitalized on in paragraph 6 is closest in meaning to
Which one do you think it is?
The first one, maybe.
Exploit. Okay, why do you think it is this one?
Because it is not learn and expect and consider neither. So
Yeah, no por el proceso de eliminación.
yes.
Yeah, exploit can usually capitalize on it. It implies, sacarle el jugo a algo, kind of. Ay, no contestaba. So yes, correct. Good job, Camila. Next one. This type of question, it's going to give you different places in the text. So in between sentences, o diferentes lugares donde pueden colocar esta oración que les da. So it gives you one additional sentence you have to stick somewhere in the text. Okay? So, Carolina, can you read the instruction, then the sentence, and then juntos, together we're going to see where we could put it, okay? So go ahead, Carolina, and read these two parts, please.
Okay. Look at the 4 squares that indicate where the following sentence can be added to the passage. For instance, Mary suffering from failing eyesight. A large screen cell phone will be important, and he would remove all smaller screen options during the evaluation period. Where will the sentence best fit?
All right, so that's our sentence, and we're going to see dónde están los puntitos. A ver, how can we see this at the same time? Yeah, está muy abajo. Yeah. Okay, but here are our 4 places. Okay, so one more time, we're going to read the sentence. For instance, if a consumer is suffering from failing eyesight, a large screen cell phone would be important, and he would remove all smaller screen options during the evaluation period. What are we talking about here then? About a consumer choice depending on eyesight? No, y algo que sabemos todo, when you get older. So if you see, I don't know, people in their 40s, todos están viendo sus celulares así, con letras súper grandes, right? So it's also, si puedes relacionarlo a cosas que tú sabes, te sirve para retención de información igual. So we've all seen this. Someone with lesser eyesight is going to prefer a larger screen. And he will remove all smaller screens during the evaluation period. Now the places it can go. Here, letter A. Vamos a ver qué hay antes. You just have to look at the sentence before and the sentence after. This is all compounded, of course, by where the consumer is in Maslow's hierarchy. Ahí iría esta oración. A ver, vamos que después. If the person has a good job and is using the computer to develop a community or find a relationship, that may affect what he is looking for. Does the sentence before or after have anything to do with this choice?
I think it's letter D.
All right.
This is an example.
Okay. Here, a consumer evaluates various choices feature by feature, and when a selection doesn't have that feature, it is eliminated until only one option is left. Yes, exactly. So iría como ejemplo de eso. And yes, correct. Good job, Camila. Next one. Okay. ¿A quién le toca? Fabiola, can you please read the instruction for this question?
Okay, select from the 9 for the 9 paragraphs below, the two phrases that correctly match Milo's hierarchy of needs, the 3 paragraphs that match the concessions, decision-making styles, and the 2 paragraphs that match decisions, say heuristics.
Heuristics.
2 of the answer choices will not be used.
Okay, phrases here, because we're just going to pick certain phrases, solo ciertas frases. So here we have to categorize different information. So this is pretty simple as well. Es como que solo poner según qué está hablando. So can you read the first one, this phrase? Fabiola, please.
Sure. When a product fails to meet standards, it is returned.
Okay, and which category does this fit into? What's it talking about? If someone else knows, you can also raise your hand. And what do you think?
I think decision heuristics.
Okay, decision heuristics. Does anyone know what heuristics is?
No.
If you've seen it in, yeah, it's a little bit in término filosófico igual. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not 100% sure what it means. Okay, it's a mental shortcut that allows people to solve problems and make judgments quickly and efficiently. So it's basically quick decision making. So if we're talking about quick decision making, quick mental processes, sorry, it was this one que tenía que poner acá. Decision heuristics. This one. So do you think this fits more like mental shortcuts or conscious decision making? The text mentions kind of 3 ways that people make decisions when buying things, right? Esto va más según the pyramid, a conscious decision, or a kind of mental shortcut.
Maybe Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
All right, we're gonna go with Maslow's hierarchy. Does anyone think differently?
Miss, I think it is a conscious decision making.
I'm leaning more towards that one as well. So let's go with that one. Let's see, Carolina, can you read the next one? This one.
Sorry, Miss, could you repeat? I couldn't hear you well.
Oh, can you read this next statement, please?
Okay. The desire to be included in a social group influences decisions.
Okay, so which
Continue.
one does this belong to? Acá, no, this statement. Acá, where would you put it? Decision heuristics, conscious decision making. Or it could be none of them, porque those no se van a usar.
I think it's kind of wish, I don't know, maybe. Decision, no. I don't know, Miss.
What do you guys think? I'm gonna leave it out for the moment. If you're not sure, it's best to, continue with the next one y ver si luego lo ponemos en algún lugar. All right. The next one, Roger, can you read this one, please?
Okay, Miss.
The first one maybe is the decision heuristic.
This one, the desire to be included in a social group influences decisions.
Yes, maybe.
We also have the context here. We can look for each of these phrases and see what they're talking about in different points. Pero por, a ver, ¿dónde está esta frase? I think it's more complicated to remember exactly where they are and go back to the text. So let's go on with the next one. A property is considered Roger, can you read that one, please?
Okay, Miss. Property is considered necessary and products lacking the property are ignored.
This
Um,
is
I am not sure about this one, but I'm gonna go with a conscious decision making.
all right. Let's get there. Let's see this one. If we're not really sure, let's go back to the text. Da-da-da-da. Mm-mm-mm. Here, da-da-da, somewhere around here. Mm. Where is it? Sorry,
I think it could be Maslow's hierarchy because it's in order of satisfying needs. So
yeah,
a
I feel this
property is first.
it fits much
I
more.
hesitate a bit if we maybe make it apart for a moment, but it's the most closest option for me, Maslow's.
Yeah, they are being mentioned. I'm not sure exactly where it is. No lo logro encontrar, but I do remember reading this bit in the paragraph that talks about Maslow's pyramid. So I also agree it's that one. Let's see the next one. A product is bought based on only one attribute. Where do we mention that? A product is bought based on only one attribute. It kind of sounds like it could be decision heuristics. And if we go down to this paragraph, shortcuts are heuristics, which are used frequently and help with difficult choices in particular. Da-da-da. And in various points, it explains on how people tend to choose a product for only one thing, like a visually familiar option or a previous experience with a product. So I think it's this one, it's here. Next one, a negative experience with the brand influences future purchase decisions. This one, Fabiola, where do you think it fits?
Maybe conscious decision making.
Yeah, we read it right now. When we're talking about heuristics, know that a previous experience with a brand, justo acá, ¿no? With a previous experience. So I think it fits more here. So these two we have listos. Ya están los dos de acá. Acá nos faltan dos, and here we're missing one. Okay, so let's see the next phrases. Camila, can you read the next one, please? This one.
A purchase is only made if the buyer can pay in cash. Maybe it's like a conditional. A conscious decision.
All right, so let's put it here. Yeah, I agree. I think it's this one. The next one, all possible features are considered carefully. Carolina, which one do you think this goes in?
I think conscious too.
Yeah, I also think so. Conscious decision making. Nice. So there are three answers. That one's also complete. So out of these three, one of them has to fit Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Camila, which one do you think out of these three es la que falta en esa?
The second one.
Physical needs take priority over emotional or intellectual needs. Yes, pero vamos a subir. Yeah, I agree. This was very directly, no? Explicación del. That's all the way up. Me lo voy a pegar acá. No se puede pegar acá. No, no me deja pegarlo. Yeah. Yeah, digamos que está arriba. And the other two would be the desire to be included in a social group setting influences decisions, and consumer buys a more expensive product hoping to receive higher quality. Do you think we could replace any of those?
Yes, the decision heuristics, the first one that says a product is built based on only one attribute, it could be replaced by the last one.
So this one, lo votamos.
Yeah, I think.
And a consumer buys more
And
than.
it's better, and even in the paragraph we can find an example for that due to a wine, I think.
Yeah, exactly. It gives an
So-
example. So if it mentions it directly in the text, then yes. Any other change we could make? Este bueno está arriba, pero serían estos los que quedan. Yeah, I think these two are the ones que son de sobrita, no? These are the ones that don't fit. Y digamos que esto está arriba. In the Maslow option. Y si era. All right, let's see this one. Okay, this is a huge question. So there are many choices, but if we go through them one by one, we can break it down a bit. We went through them one by one. Let's read the explanation. I'm gonna send you guys this explanation so you can read it more with more detail. But yeah, these are the most tricky type of questions because it's more very, very interpretive. So you really have to connect it to the paragraph. So, a ver, ¿cuántos más? Those are the 10 questions. Sí, entonces esas serían las 10 preguntas for this reading. So, remember for the actual test, you only have 20 minutes per text. So it's about 1 minute-ish per question. ¿No? Entre 10 minutos más o menos, o bueno, 7 de lectura y más o menos 10 minutos de responder las preguntas. That's more or less the time you have for each one. So we're going to leave it there today. Do you guys have any questions or comments? No. Okay. So I'm going to send you guys the poll. And wait a sec, guys. Voy a sacar foto a la asistencia. 2 seconds. All right. Vayan llenando el poll. Yes, you know.
Teacher, I wanted to ask something in that kind of questions. We made there were a lot of options, and we made correct not all, but some of them. And why, or maybe how is the score? Why is
I'm not sure if it's said on that one. One of them usually when,
okay, so
cuando son así grandotas, that sometimes they're worth 2 points. So
it counts the correct responses and something like that, or it's
Yeah,
late the question.
no, you would get half the points if like part of it, like if it's a very long question and part of it is correct and part of it isn't, then you would get half the score.
Okay.
Okay, and eso. Anyone else? Any questions? All right, guys. So we're gonna leave it there. See you guys on Friday and have a nice week.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Miss.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, guys.
Guys.